friends. Today we're going to read Busy Spring. Are you having a busy spring? What is it that you're doing with this spring? Are you helping out in the garden? Are you helping to create a garden? Are you cleaning up the yard? Are you cleaning up your room? There's always lots to do in the spring. So let's see what happens in this story. Busy spring. Nature wakes up. In the wintertime, the garden felt quiet and gray, and it looked like it was sleeping. Then one morning, Dad was wearing his sweater with a hole in it. That meant it was a good day for going outside to do gardening. And it was. I went, so did my little sister Jasmine. The yard was bright and birds were singing, hopping, and pecking. A big bird flew by in a hurry. Everything smelled like wet earth and sunshine. It's warm, said Jasmine. Dad nodded. It's spring. Dad told us he had digging to do and we could carry things to the compost heap, then help plant carrots. He said, let's see where I left the fork. Let's see, said Jasmine. She splashed through a puddle. Birds flew up and continued chattering in the trees. The birds are all busy, I said. Dad told us everything's busy. The plants are busy, the animals are busy, spring's a busy time. Jasmine shouted, busy spring. Dad brushed his hand through flowers as tall as Jasmine. Bees and bugs and flies zoomed out. He told us the spring sunlight is nature's alarm clock. Life's waking up. Plants are racing to get more light. Some grow high and then the wind scatters pollen from their flowers. Some paint themselves brilliant colors to attract insects. Jasmine put her face in some flowers. They made her sneeze. You're not a bumblebee, I told her, laughing. But she ran around going buzz, buzz, buzz. Jasmine buzzed around the pond. There are tadpoles, she shouted. Dad said, did you know tadpoles turn into butterflies? I told him, they turn into frogs. Oh, yes, laughed Dad. That's right. Frogs make too many babies to count. The fastest and luckiest tadpoles grow big and strong. And when they become frogs, you'll hear them croaking spring songs. Can you jump like a frog? I asked Jasmine. No, she said, but I can fly like a flutterby. Jasmine fluttered away and fluttered back. Birds swooped like they were playing too. One stopped on a branch. I said, she's eating a twig. She's not eating it, said Dad. There are lots of tasty caterpillars around for her to eat. She's collecting twigs to make a nest, and soon there'll be newborn chicks up there. Cheepy, cheepy, sang Jasmine. Cheep, cheep, cheep. It didn't sound quite like the birds, but it sounded happy like them. We still hadn't found Dad's fork. It wasn't by the shed, but the hole where the fox lives was. And Jasmine peeped down. Is the fox inside? I asked. Dad nodded. Yes, and she'll have fox cubs by now. Little fox cubs, Jasmine called. Come and play. They just want to lie with their mom for now, whispered Dad, but they'll soon be playing games in the spring sunshine. What games? I asked. Rolling and bouncing, said Dad, and chasing and pouncing. Then he chased us like we were foxes. I ran behind the compost heap. Dad, I shouted, here's your fork. Dad came to get it. Who lives in there? Jasmine asked. Dad rolled back a log with the fork. Insects, he said. There were rushing ants and woodlice. There were worms and a shiny beetle. Those are nature's recyclers, Dad told us. They're working hard, eating up all the dead things. I spotted a caterpillar next to the compost heap. Look, I pointed. Spring's all around us, smiled Dad. Everything's growing, feeding, and making new life. That caterpillar was an egg a few days ago. Now she's eating and eating. Next, she'll wrap herself up in a cocoon. Then she'll change into a butterfly and find a mate. Look, she's making holes in the leaves, just like the very hungry caterpillar did. Couldn't get that out. And I think she'll turn into a nice butterfly like this one. Yeah. Yes, I said, tadpoles become frogs and caterpillars become butterflies. Dad looked at Jasmine and asked, can you become a butterfly again? No, she said, but I can become a frog. And off she hopped. It might rain in a bit, called Dad. And we came out to do something else, didn't we? Digging, I said. And planting carrots, Jasmine told him. That's right, said Dad. Come on. So we did. Birds sang along, petals came dancing down, and we got busy. And then it talks about spring. What is spring? Spring sunshine is nature's alarm clock, telling wildlife to wake up after winter. You can see, hear, and smell the signs of new life as the season arrives with a rush of energy. Darkness is chased away earlier each morning. Crisp, cold air becomes milder. Warm winds blow in, ice melts, rivers swell. Stormy showers and morning dew bring fresh water. These seasonal changes beckon animals and plants to leave winter behind and get busy. The sun and the way the earth circles it gives us the seasons. For half the year, the south of our planet tilts towards the sun. For the other half of the year, the north of our planet tilts closer. When the earth leans closer to the sun, the days grow longer and warmer. This brings the brighter and sometimes wetter days of spring. Oh, and look, it talks all about the plants and the forest flowers. It says roots and shoots. After resting in the chilly ground all winter, plants and seeds soak up water. They swell, sprout, send down new roots, and push up green shoots. Then when plants reach sunshine, they give us light. They use light, air and water to make food inside their leaves. This is called photosynthesis. That's a big word, isn't it? Can you say that one? Photosynthesis. Kind of feels tickly on your tongue. Forest flowers. On the woodland floor, spring flowers have been lying still for most of the year. Now they pop up and carpet the forest with color. It's a race to catch sunlight while the trees are still bare. They blossom and make seeds in just a few short weeks, then disappear for another year. Then it says treetops. Up in the trees, buds have been resting, but now sap rises inside the tree trunks, telling buds to burst open into leaves and flowers. Pussy willow, larch, sloe, plum, apple, and cherry are among the early spring trees to flower. Forest giants such as oaks are also waking up. Oak and birch trees grow long catkin flowers. Their pollen is carried by the wind. Soon the tree canopy will grow its full coat of leaves and cast the woodland floor into shade. And then there's all the animals waking up. It says, on mild spring evenings, bats wake from hibernation and inside caves, trees, or buildings. They've lost weight during the winter and must now hunt for food. Female bats wake up pregnant, which means they're ready to have a bat baby. So they need to find a new roost where they can give birth to a pup. I didn't know that bat babies were called pups. Did you know that? Badgers give their winter sets a spring clean for new families. As snow melts, some mammals shed their thick, light-colored winter coats, leaving them with thinner, darker spring fur. This offers mountain hares camouflage as they raise their young. The longer days trigger male deer to start quickly growing new velvety antlers. And see, you can't have the mountain hare. That's a kind of bunny. You can't have him with white fur if everything around him isn't white anymore, right? Because people would see him too easy. So he needs some brown fur. So singing and dancing. The joyful dawn chorus of singing birds helps them find a mate. Some birds display beautiful colored feathers too. The male grouse joins amazing group displays, dancing, strutting, and puffing up his feathers and cheat. And then there's the water babies. It says some ocean animals migrate thousands of miles during the spring. Giant whales journey between feeding and breeding areas, swimming near kelp forests to protect their calves, and tiny eels cross oceans to reach their adult homes. On the way, they transform several times from glass eels into elvers, then yellow eels, finally becoming adult silver eels. Amphibians leap back into ponds. Frogs and toads lay hundreds of eggs in jelly. As their young grow, they will change forms several times. This is called metamorphosis. That's another big word, isn't it? That sounds, can you say that one? That one's pretty big. Metamorphosis. Yeah, that's good. So adult male great crested newts grow spectacular mating crests to impress females. So he's down at the bottom here. He's got this big spiky crest that he grows. And then there's pollinating. It says plants and animals need each other during spring to grow and develop. Spring is the perfect time for many plants to blossom and attract pollinators. The beautiful colors, shapes, and perfumes of flowers invite animals searching for tasty nectar and pollen. Visiting insects and other creatures then carry pollen from flower to flower. So the plants help animals feed themselves and their young, and pollinating animals help plants make seeds. My goodness, there's a lot going on in the spring, isn't there? And then the seed carrying, it says soon animals will be helping more plants to grow. When they eat fruits and nuts, they carry seeds to new places. These will come out in their poop, which is great compost for plants to grow in. And then there's talking about recyclers, nature's recyclers, which are the insects. Remember the dad said? And then feasting and traveling. And it talks about little dormice. And it says dormice don't eat during their long winter sleep. But when they wake up in spring, one of their favorite foods is honeysuckle nectar and pollen. And then it talks about how we can help. Did you know we could help spring? Let's see, how can we help? It says because of climate change, spring's arrival is shifting. Buds are bursting open earlier and bees are buzzing around sooner. The changes can be harmful for plants and animals. It's important for them to wake up and grow at the best time. You can help by learning about climate change and how it affects wildlife, then acting on what you find out. So it says you could put up bat boxes and bird houses. You can provide insect hotels and bird feeders. You can make a wildlife pond. You can provide a feast for wildlife by planting flowers and trees. And you can help scientists protect nature by recording and sharing the signs of spring. Wow, you can do a lot of things. Did you know all that? Yeah, what am I going to do? I think I will plant some flowers. I think that's a good spring activity. And maybe that'll bring some bees and some butterflies and birds maybe, or caterpillars. I don't know. But if I plant flowers, I'm sure some critter will like it, right? All right. So whatever you do today, I hope you have fun out in the spring, and I hope it's nice and sunny and warm where you are. And maybe it's even so sunny you won't need a heavy winter coat. What do you think? All right. Have a great day, friends. Bye-bye.